Lesson 1, Adding Fractions. 1/2 plus 4/5. How do we add that? Well, that's what we're going to learn. First, we need to identify our two denominators. Remember, our denominators are the numbers on the bottom of the fraction. Our two denominators are 2 and 5. Next, we need to determine if the two denominators are equal. If they are not, we need to find the LCM of the two denominators. Because 2 and 5 are not the same number, we need to find the least common multiple of 2 and 5. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to list the multiples of 2. 2 times 1 equals 2, 2 times 2 equals 4, 2 times 3 equals 6, 2 times 4 equals 8, 2 times 5 equals 10. These are only the first 5 multiples of 2. If you are able to skip count faster, you can do that as well. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Those are the first 5 multiples of 2. Now, we're going to list the multiples of 5. 5 times 1 equals 5. 5 times 2 equals 10. 5 times 3 equals 15. 5 times 4 equals 20. Those are the first 4 multiples of 5. Again, you can skip count if that's faster for you. 5, 10, 15, 20. Now that they're both listed, we need to identify the least common multiple of the two denominators. They're going to share a number, and that number is 10. You don't have to list out multiples beyond the 10 if you are able to identify that the 10 is going to be the least common multiple between 2 and 5. So now you're going to have to multiply your numerator and denominator by the same whole number to get the denominator of 10. So we're going to do 1/2 times something to equal something over 10. It's going to have to be equivalent to 1/2. So we're going to set that up. 1/2 times, we look at our denominator as 2. We know 2 times something is going to have to equal 10. Whatever we do to the bottom, we must do to the top. So we know it's going to be 2 times 5. So whatever we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. 1 times 5 equals 5. 2 times 5 equals 10. So our equivalent fraction of 1/2 is 5/10. 1/2 and 5/10 are equal fractions. We just needed 1/2 to have the denominator of 10. So we're going to do the same thing with our 4/5. If you look at the denominator, it is 5. 5 times some number is going to equal 10. And we know that it's going to be 2. 5 times 2 equals 10. So now we have to do whatever we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. 4 times 2 equals 8. 5 times 2 equals 10. So 4/5 is the same as 8/10. So now we have to add our two new fractions together. Remember, when you add fractions, you only add the numerators together. The denominator stays the same. So that 10 on the bottom is going to stay 10 on the bottom. So let's rewrite our new problem. 5/10 plus 8/10. So 5 plus 8 equals 13. You do not add the denominators. Remember, it just stays the same. However, 13/10 is an improper fraction because the numerator is larger than the denominator. 13 is bigger than 10. 10 over 10 would be one whole number. So we have to simplify this down. So what I like to do is I think of the denominator as 10, and then I think of what would make that one whole. 10 over 10 would be one whole. So we have 13 over 10, so we definitely have at least one whole. Now we have to figure out how much more do we have? What is our remainder? So you do 13 minus 10, and that gives you a remainder of 3, and your denominator again stays the same. It's 1 3/10. That is your final answer to 1/2 plus 4/5. 4/5, it equals 1 3/10.